Okay. All right, obviously a big win for our team, our program. Can't say enough about the resolve of our players. It was truly a Cowboy tough win. All the different things that were going on. I mean, Andrew Peasley is as tough as boot leather as much as he got hit and kept hanging in there. Really pleased with our coaches. I thought some of the adjustments as the game went along was really excellent. Some of the calls that Coach Polsick had late, and then Andrew checking the last run there was outstanding. I want to say hats off to Texas Tech. Coach McGuire is doing a great job. He's a perfect fit. We knew, both he and I knew it was going to be a tight ball game. And I'm really proud of our football team. I think the maturity showed because we did not start fast. Every checkpoint that I did talk about in the pregame meal of things that we're going to need to do, I was like, did these guys even listen? And so, there was certainly an amount of frustration, but the players worked through those mistakes, and then good things started to happen. Obviously, I think from what I understand, they were a ranked football team, and they deserve to be ranked. So I think we beat a good football team tonight, and so we're certainly excited. So questions at this time. Yes, Cody, you're up first.
Andrew Peasley, I mean, what can you say about that guy? He's been through so much.
Yeah.
How hurt was he tonight?
He was hurt. I mean, I'm in hopes. I mean, he's going to need to get in the training room tonight. He took some hard shots, some body blows. We pulled him out one time simply because he was – I go, how are you feeling? Because everything hurts. Everything hurts. And I said, well, quarterback runs. He goes, I can keep running. I think it had an impact on some of the things. But, he worked through it. And obviously the touchdown he made was another good execution, a read by him, and a good call by Tim. And I can't say enough about Andrew. And so, we talked at the halftime that there were going to be two things that keep us in every game, our pride and our conditioning. And I think that was true. We had a great deal of pride in our conditioning because they were going tempo. And then there were going to be two things that allow us to win every game, and our toughness and our togetherness. And so that certainly showed through. Yes. I really think it sounds a little bit, it was early, but when Rook Brown got the interception, I think that, that started to say, okay, we can make plays too. So that's when I saw it.
Greg, how special of a moment was it? Just I think the announced attendance was over 26,000, and just to see the fans rush the field after the game, and how special was that?
Well, we've had that a couple times, not very often. I think we have passionate fans. I know we have passionate fans, and they were on I'm sure they're on pins and needles because they bleed brown and gold, and so it was great to win. I know I had a hard time going out and trying to find Coach McGuire, but we got it done, and it was neat to see our players enjoy all the fans and their family. Yes, Cody.
You love spotting these Power 5 teams, 14 points at home.
Well, I did not anticipate to beat a really quality team like this to get down and that far. Cody, I think we were about one or two series away from maybe having a really hard time and having to change our whole DNA. And so we walked to the edge, and I remember I challenged our offensive line. I said, guys, we are at kind of an inflection point here. We got to get something done, and those guys did along with Andrew.
Craig, I don't know exactly where Sam ranked in pecking order going into camp, but what's it like to see him make huge play after huge play in the walk-up?
Yeah, there's no doubt. Sam, he played running back in high school, and we flipped him over. He was a linebacker for a while, and then we had him play running back in our bowl game. And then during fall camp, we looked at him some running back, fullback, tight end. And, it was really encouraging to see him make some plays. I mean, obviously he had some big ones tonight.
Greg, how much did this team as a whole kind of grow throughout the course of the game? Obviously, down 17 early,
Yeah.
kind of coming back and calling back.
Well, I think the game was just kind of I don't know if the right term would be microcosm. You guys are better with big words than I am, except Cody. Touche. Fact, touche. But this is the type of team we've had, and that started in the winter. It started after the bowl game. You don't come up with those kind of wins without great chemistry, because what occurs is when you don't have great maturity and great chemistry, when you're down like that, I've seen some ugly things get said on the sidelines and finger pointing, and, you know, guys are certainly upset, but they were encouraging one another. So I think that started quite some time, and tonight was an example of it. I mean, we tested it more than I would have liked, but I think we're going to grow from that as well.
What started to click for this defense after getting a couple of punches to the face?
Well, I think first of all, our field position, Cody. I mean, and then we had a hard time getting used to the pace, and we got beat over the top a couple times. But Jay put us in a couple calls to where we came up with some stops. And then all of a sudden the pressure on the quarterback got better. And then the run game started to get a little bit better. And then we got him off kilter a little bit. And so I think a mixture of Jay's timing and tempo, I call him doctor of defense. I'm sure you guys notice, you're all learned football coaches or football guys, that we were in a 3-man front dropping 8. Hadn't done that before. And so, you know, I thought it was a stroke of genius on his part. He began to watch tape over the summer, and I had some apprehension of it, but then we worked through some things, and I thought Jay come up with a good plan, and then the guys executed, and that really helped. I think it may have thrown them off a little bit, simply because we were able to get lined up, get our feet underneath us. There was maybe 1 or 2 times that we didn't have somebody set the whole time, and that allowed us to be balanced, to be able to stay in that tempo. And then the quarterback had to hold the ball a little bit.
Of course, before Brooks' pick, you sent him to drop for a 56-yard field goal. I mean, he misses that. They have great field position. That, I thought, might say something.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know. You know, fourth down, what about 4th down and 2.5 when Bo usually conservative and we went for it? Huh?
The kicking game was
No, the kicking game was, I think we won the kicking game tonight, obviously. I mean, the number of field goals that we made and they missed some, obviously that had a big impact.
How about Chauncey Carter
What about him?
coming into this game?
Tyreekis.
Coming into this game.
Yeah.
Colby being out of this game.
Yeah. He really battled and played well, and we had anticipated him going into this game rotating, and he's a competitive guy. He's a hungry guy. We got him out of Navarro Junior College, and he appreciates everything that he has here. He's a father, and I really thought he went out and competed. The stage was not too big, and Texas Tech is guys. They got massive, huge receivers with a great quarterback, and I thought he really went out and competed well.
How nice was it to see Driscoll come out of the backfield?
Well, you know what? I'm an old believer in a fullback, and especially a guy from Gillette, and throwing a touchdown pass to him. I think probably everybody up in Campbell County probably had a beer tonight. Yeah.
Especially like as a coach drawing up plays or choosing plays in those critical situations in overtime. The keeper was Beasley in the first overtime comes to mind. When you're doing that, what goes through your head?
Well, that's why we hire good people, and I don't mean that sarcastically. Tim works really hard, and we knew that it was going to be some challenges. It was going to be a play here or there, and once we got him in a rhythm, and there was a chess game, and I talked about this in the press conference. Okay, Tim sent in some good plays. Coach DeRuiter, their defensive coordinator, is a good defensive coordinator. Chess match, but the X factor, Andrew Peasley. I don't know how many times you saw a lot of different things, and so I want to credit Andrew, but also Tim for going through all those narratives and leveraging and understanding Andrew. And Andrew lived in that one of these offices. I think we're going to put a name up there because he's in there watching tape on his own all the time. But that combination of Tim and Andrew playing off one another was huge.
What was your vantage point of Andrew's last pass? Because it looked like he was about to get sacked.
Yeah, it was, they were house blitzing, and we came up with a big play there, and it was not an easy catch. So, big-time play, I'll always remember.
How nice was it to see Shea? I think he led the team in tackling.
Yeah, you know what, we talked about him. We were disappointed in his tackling last year. He'd be in the right place, wouldn't wrap up. He missed the spring, and so we were concerned about that. But he came back in fall camp and had done much better in body position, and I don't know how many tackles he had tonight, but I didn't see him miss very many.
So Campbell County's gonna have a ton of beers. How many beers are you gonna have?
I'm not going to comment on that. We have somebody from the Mountain West office in the background here, so, yeah.
Talk about your preparation for that fast tempo, with your defense to go against that fast tempo offensive.
Yeah, I thought our defensive coaches once again did an outstanding job, Jay Sovell. We did some walkthroughs and then we did some practice. We spent a great deal of time. I was concerned about it. I about got sick because I was watching them against West Virginia, and they ran like 73 plays and a half, and they had more plays than about anybody in America. And I was like, whoa. But our guys hung in there, and then we did a good job substituting also. I don't know if you saw that. Whenever the referee gives the Iron Cross, we were able to substitute, keep fresh guys in there, and buy a little time.
I believe they were only 1 for 9 on third down there through the third quarter. That's
Yeah, you know what? And Coach McGuire was really complimentary after. He goes, I can't believe the defensive effort. I can't believe our team effort. It was a great team win. Hey, everybody good? Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Congrats. Appreciate you, man.
Our guys got Shay here.
Shay, what's that locker room like?
Oh, it's a lot of energy in there. Smiles, hugging, celebrating. It's just a lot of love in there right now. So,
What was the mindset of this team down 17-0?
fight, just fight. The only thing you can do is just fight. And Coach Salvell kept saying, play by play. So if you win that play, then we win that play. And we go to the next play. If we win that play, then we're gonna be just fine. So we just went play by play, and that's just how the motto is.
Shane, what can you say about the effort tonight from Andrew Peasley?
Man, he showed a lot of heart. Man, I'm super proud of him. That's why he's our quarterback. He did his job. He did what he needed to do, and I'm just super proud of him.
What was your thought about the game plan to line 3 guys at the line of scrimmage and 8 back?
It was a little different just because this is our first time ever doing it, especially against a big team, but we executed pretty well, I would say, obviously. We just had to understand that we're athletes. We can have a DN out in pass drop, so we trusted that, and we went with it.
Okay, how special was it for you just to obviously win the game and then have the fans rush the field like that?
It was a full circle because my freshman year, it was against Missouri, and whenever we beat them, they all came. So I didn't even rush the field with them. I just stood back. Oh, my bad. I just stood back and looked at everybody rushing. It was just a surreal moment for sure.
Shay, tackling was the big thing that everybody was talking about last year. Looks like you might have got that fixed tonight.
I just trusted our coaches with the tackling techniques that we used this past fall, and I really just kind of tuned into that. And, I just wanted to be a lot different than last year because I didn't really like last year's performance too much, but, yeah, I'm here now.
Can you talk about your off-season preparations of how you did change that, turn that around?
You talking about the tackling?
Yeah.
During fall camp, spring ball, I was out, obviously, just because I had a shoulder surgery on my shoulder. And during fall camp, our coaches really, nailed that we need to be a better tackling team. And to me, I took that really serious because I was the leading missed tackler on our team. So we did a lot of drills and every day. So I went hard in every single drill, even though those drills are hard, but at the same time, it's to get me better. But this is just one game, though. I got to do it the next game as well.
That's good.
As a team, CBS national audience, how does it feel to prove what Wyoming football is for the national audience?
It feels really good. In that locker room, we know what we are, so we had to just go out there and prove it. It's a lot of love, a lot of trust in there, so we know what we're capable of, and tonight we did it.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Going?
did that feel like to cross that goal line there on that 2-point conversion?
It meant the world to me. Obviously, you guys kind of know my backstory. I was a linebacker and moved to running back, and so finding my place and being able to show up for this game and show up at the end there was just the dream come true.
Sam, you guys dug quite a hole in this game. How did you flip the script on those guys?
We just took it one play at a time. Yeah, so I mean, those first few drives that we had weren't great. We didn't do much. We fumbled the ball. We just had to focus on the next drive and get some pass plays in there. We did that and get the run game going.
What was your vantage point of the play before your conversion? Obviously, Andrew was getting blitzed and looked like he was about to get sacked, and all of a sudden it's pandemonium.
Yeah, it was crazy out there. They were bringing a lot of pressure and just getting on the right guys and making sure that they don't get to Peasley because, I mean, he still took a lot of blows, but he's a tough guy. But, yeah, just knowing who I got and take it one play at a time.
Sam, how much did Andrew's kind of resiliency help fuel the offense there in those later quarters?
I thought it was everything because seeing your quarterback just be able to take a lot and fight through it with adversity makes you want to fight even more because he's a captain. He leads us.
You guys good? Thank you. Oh, Pingolas. Where's next?
How's it going, guys?
Jordan, what does it mean to you to, I mean, they still scored in the 30s, but it took 2 overtimes. You guys went down for 3 quarters.
Yeah, no, it was definitely huge. And I mean, it's just I feel like a huge, just pointing at how, close our team is, close-knit. I mean, we went through the ringer those first 2 drives. I mean, an interception, we had a fumble, and we gave up a 6-play drive that felt like 20 plays right off the get. And so it's just we never pointed a finger. We never, we're blaming somebody else, we took that ownership and we were like, okay, well, what do we got to do? We've been in this situation before. And so I feel like we leaned on the offense leaned on us going through that game. And I feel like that's how we came out on top.
We just talked last week, Jordan, about how that first year here was brutal for you, and you thought, oh my God, what am I doing at defensive tackle?
Yeah.
Now, can you believe you're standing here after beating Texas Tech?
Yeah, no. Honestly, I don't even think that it's fully sank in. I mean, I was walking off the field and I'm like, gosh, did we really just beat them? They're a great team. And we're a great team. So it was definitely good to go out there and show the world what we're capable of. And so I'm excited. But yeah, no, I did not see it coming if you asked me 4 years ago.
Jordan, I know Shay mentioned, so you're looking at the scoreboard and down 17-0. I mean, what's kind of going through your mind just in that moment?
Yeah, Coach Savell kept saying one play at a time, and so I feel like that was kind of our mentality the whole game. After we got gashed a little bit, but I mean, there's always going to be plays that don't go your way, and so I feel like just taking it one play at a time and being able to flush a mistake is definitely the biggest key.
How did you feel about playing a completely different alignment and just trying something different?
Yeah, no, it was definitely fun. Had a few pass rushes out of a 5 technique, which I came in as a defensive end, so it felt kind of good to actually get some of that. But no, it was fun, and I mean, it's definitely fun to throw some curveballs at teams. And I mean, nobody knew that we would ever be in a 3-down front, so it was definitely fun.
Jordan, so as a defense, you watching the game and you see Andrew obviously take hits and keep getting back up and keep fighting. I mean, how much does that help fuel the defense when you see it?
It's huge. I mean, we've got some tough guys on this team. I mean, that's our motto is Cowboy Tough. And so having our quarterbacks are normally the ones that, I mean, get a few bumps and they're complaining or everything. But Peasley's a super tough guy. And so seeing him out there and doing that definitely gave us a huge fuel, because we would see that and then we'd see him run for a first down right after. And so we're like, all right, yeah, we got a dog out there. So, but yeah, no, it was good.
Jordan, with how experienced this defensive unit is, it takes a game like this to teach them more. What do you think is the lesson y'all are going to take from this game through the rest of the season?
One play at a time. I mean, it's always been something that we've preached is one day at a time, stack the days, make the days count. And so but it goes down to as little as stacking a play, a 4-second play. You do your job, and then you're on to the next one. I mean, you don't do your job, then you could be on to the next one, but 80 yards down the field. So it's definitely, I definitely think that taking it one play at a time is going to be huge for our defense and our offense and just our team as a whole, because you never know what's going to happen, but you know that you can do your best and give your best effort.
Obviously, against an offense like this, those big plays are going to
Yeah.
happen, but it always, especially in that second half, there's always kind of a bend.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, what went into that, I guess? What attributed the most to that?
I mean, we talked a lot about it throughout the game, but mainly in the fourth quarter. I mean, we've emphasized so much finishing, like finishing one play, finishing the game. Like the fourth quarter is sometimes, I mean, that's what decides the game. And so I feel like what we did in this offseason, emphasizing in practice, finishing those last 4 periods, because that's your fourth quarter, or that's your overtime that you got to go through. And so I feel like, excuse me, just finishing, just emphasizing that was huge.
Jordan, how much did the crowd kind of factor in there in the fourth quarter and overtime?
Honestly, it was huge. I love playing at Wyoming. I mean, coming here as a kid, it was one of my best memories. But now one of my best memories are hearing the crowd there. So, but no, it's definitely huge. And on third downs, it just gives you that much more adrenaline. Like you could have been in for 8 plays, but you know that you got a third down, and you hear the crowd cheering, and you just got that extra adrenaline that boosts you to go make a stop.
Can you talk more about being from Wyoming, a Wyoming native, being on the team? You know, you're kind of a minority almost on the team as far as the roster goes. How much pride does this, you know, winning this big game, being from Wyoming? Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, no, it's so huge. I mean, Frank's another one that is a Wyoming guy, and so we always say represent the WYO boys, you know. So we don't have a ton of guys from WYO on the team, but I mean, the guys that we do have make a huge difference on this roster, whether they're on scout team or out there making plays. And so it's just a huge bond that we have, and we take so much pride in the whole state. All right. Thank you, guys.
Not for me, at least.
Frank, Peasley's effort tonight, just getting up. How special was that?
I am extremely proud to call that man my quarterback, but it's also a testament. I mean, this was an unproven O-line tonight, and I think they really stepped up, and you could see some glimpses of light for some of these young O-linemen. I mean, we just beat Texas Tech with 2 starting redshirt freshmen. But, I mean, having to say your quarterback is so tough and he's willing to keep getting up, that's on us to protect him. So I take ownership in that room for sure. We're going to take a great deal of pride in cleaning up our protection and not making him have to be so tough for us, so he can just go out there and ball like Healthy Peas does, you know. So, I respect the heck out of him for being tough, but let's take some hits off him.
Frank, what do you think turned it around? You guys were down 17-0 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, we believed. We didn't bat an eye at this tonight. And when we went down 17-0, like you said, I just had flashbacks from Missouri. And I was a young player during that time, and I'm like, we can do this. They're going to think, they got this in the bag right away. We could already tell they were gassed. We weren't clicking on all cylinders. And we knew that was bound to happen for us, and we kept pushing it and made a couple adjustments at halftime, and there we went,
So, Frank, I know there was a couple of false start penalties right in those first couple of drives. Was there like a conversation with some of the younger linemen from you, like just kind of settling down and getting the nerves kind of out of the way?
Yeah, clean football is something you have to take pride in. Like, we have to get the play off to give it a shot. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. So throughout camp, and we've all had our share of it, clean football starts with, getting the ball off, no false starts, and then also keeping Andrew Peasley clean. That's in our book what clean football is. And those 2 areas, we obviously got to improve. We got away with those tonight, and we're definitely looking to clean those up.
It's your last home opener. How special was that?
Yeah, going out there, I love this town. I love this state. This was my dream as a kid. And I didn't know what my last year was, and I'm so glad I came back to play 6. To open up like this, man, is very special for me. I'm excited to see what this season holds for us. But like Bert was saying, we're the Wild boys. It means something to us. It's different. So I take an immense deal of pride in this win tonight, but this team, this state, that crowd, that was unbelievable. That was electric. It was probably the most fun I've had at a home game, for sure.
Frank, when the 2-point conversion play call comes in, did you have a good feeling you were going to part the seas for Scott there?
Yeah, it was definitely based on a defensive look, and we got what we wanted, and Pease checked us into the right play. And me and Lucas Sandy, true freshman, we talked it through. They were bringing a blitz. We bumped it off and parted the way for him to get through there. So I'm really proud of Sam. I think he's really stepped up. I know he talked, he's a linebacker. But, man, he's given his heart. He didn't take this as, all those linebackers left for the bowl game. Man, I got to be just a running back fill-in. He took that and ran with it, and you saw it tonight what he can do.
Greg, I know you touched on it a little bit, but how much more special was it after the game to be able to celebrate with your city on the field?
Yeah, that was very special to see a lot of locals that I've known, and I know they take pride in me, and I respect that and I recognize that. I love the people of Laramie, and I love the people of Wyoming, so to be out there representing that means a great deal to me.
That's good. All right, thanks.
Appreciate you. Hey, thank you. Thanks, Cody. Is anybody going to drink this?
It's very solid. Solid water. How we doing?
All right, go ahead, gentlemen.
Andrew, did you see your last pass go into John's arms, or were you on your wall?
No, yeah, I had no idea. But I do know that, we called that play before. I think 2 or 3 plays. I can't remember. But I was late to it. I completed it for like a 5-yard ball, but I knew I was hot. They bring pressure. If I would have put it on him, it would have scored way earlier. So I told Coach P, hey, if we get another shot, call that play again. He called it. Got it on him fast. I think I had to that time. They were coming. But, yeah, that's probably the best feeling when you're looking up in the sky and your home team is going crazy. So.
Safe to say there was no way in hell you were coming out of this game?
Yeah, not a chance, but I was hurting. Coach Bull asked me how I was at halftime, and I just said my body hurt. He said, can you run? And I said, yeah, I got you. And I did. I think the offense and defense, the whole team just had something click in the second half. It was kind of just we got in our zone. Obviously, we started out a little slow, 2 turnovers on offense, and then, I got lucky with a pick. We got a defensive penalty, so I think we need to clean that up. I think that's really important. That was our main goal, is to have clean football, and when you come out and give a team like that, what was it, 17-0? That's dangerous, but then again, our main goal is always to fight, and we did tonight, and so it was good to see our team and just O-line. It was everyone was clicking in that second half, so it was fun.
Andrew, obviously, you're wearing this game on your sleeve. What does it mean to you personally to make a statement like this?
That's always just how I've been. I don't think that it's something new, and I think that's the reason the guys trust me, but it wasn't just me, man. It was a lot of dudes making plays. It was defense going. They played really well. Obviously, that's a fast offense. And then you go to the O-line, like guys like Frank, and you got new guys playing like Wes and Sandy. And so, just motivating those guys. I remember being in the huddle multiple times, like, hey, just one play at a time. One play at a time. This is what we got to do. And so, I think we did that. We had a few drives. I think we had a touchdown drive for 13 plays. So that was really good. Took like 7 minutes off the clock.
Andrew, so Coach Bull said he thought the turning point was when John hit that 56-yard field goal. How nice is it as an offense to have a weapon like that?
Yeah, you don't realize how nice it is to have a kicker until they kick those type of field goals. And so, I support John every day. We always have a period of extra point, and I'll stand next to him, and I'll dap him up at the end and say good job, because I know what he's capable of, and he shows it. So I'm happy for him.
What can you say about the running game? Obviously, you're down a couple guys that you thought were going to be in there, and then Sam Scott finishes it off.
Yeah.
Did you get enough out of that?
Obviously, yeah. I think DQ and Jamari, I think they played well. Obviously, they both had the fumbles that are very crucial, and no one's mad at them. I'll love them still, and I think I still trust them to run the ball. But I was really happy for Sam Scott to really get an opportunity, and he ran that one in for a tutty, and I was like, oh, that was Sam. Let's go. And so, just him going from backer to running back is a big deal. And then for him to work his way up, he's a strong dude. I'll tell you that. He works his butt off in the weight room. So,
Can you walk us through what you saw on that touchdown pass, that last touchdown?
the last one, the 4th and 5?
Yeah, because it looked like, there was a guy barreling down on you.
Yeah. So,
No, he got it off.
I just saw Coach P outside, and I said, push back drill. I yelled that to him. But we do that drill every day because we know, when we're hot in that certain amount, that play, we got to push back and we got to throw the ball. And like I said earlier, I saw the play before, and I was late to it, and I was actually pretty upset. So I said, call that again, and I just trusted the process, and that's what he's taught me to do, understanding protection and knowing when a guy is free. And I knew it. I got the ball, pushed back, and threw it. So, and John Mike is a dog.
You guys good?
That's not my
All
phone.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew. Congrats.
Thank you.